So real quick, I am gonna preheat we're gonna do some little chicken tenders. I'm gonna preheat my air fryer because it just takes a couple minutes before we chat. So this guy is the new deluxe air fryer and oven I'll tell you about. So I'm just preheating that for a few minutes so it's ready for when we throw our recipe in there, because this will all come together really quick. So just a little bit about me. A couple of us have just met briefly. So a little bit about my story. I've always loved baking and cooking, kind of like Marilyn said, just from real early on. I was fascinated that I could make my own goodies in the kitchen when my grandma showed me that when I was like 13, and I've just loved it ever since. So whenever I went to my first cooking demo show, a coworker invited me. The Pampered Chef consultant passed out this little survey at the end. Would you like to do something like this to earn income? So it was like, oh, yeah, that's what I'll do. It was just a complete no-brainer for me. But so that was over 20 years ago. I was 20 years old. So I did do it for like a year and a half. But I was a little distracted. There's a lot to running your own business, and I don't think I was quite ready for it. Kim's nodding. You know what I'm talking about. But so I had let it go for a little while there. But in the meantime, I had a beautifully stocked kitchen because I had earned all my cookware in the meantime. So then 10 years ago, I started again part-time, and I've just been learning and growing with my business ever since. And what's really interesting, what I didn't realize was we get into this because we love the cooking tools and we love cooking, but the biggest benefit from running the business is that it forces you to grow as a person. Like, you literally have to learn all the things, like interacting with people and what makes things work, and technology. So, and that's just ongoing. So you have to and I love that. I love the stimulation of staying on your toes and learning all the newest ways to make things easier. So, and then in the last couple years, I've been super blessed to have found a couple of business coaches that they've been mentoring me, and I highly recommend that if there's anything anywhere in your life that you're struggling with, to get a mentor or coach to work with, because they can just see things that you can't, and that has helped me make just a lot of progress. So now I'm just super excited to be going more full time with my business and working towards a trip this year. And I love to show my own boys how you can grow something from nothing, and making your own income is just so much more satisfying. Making that first $100 on your own is more satisfying than making $1,000 at a job. But I just love that you can grow something from nothing if you work hard enough. And Pampered Chef is always looking for people too. If you know anybody passionate about cooking and the kitchen tools and that would like to do that growth too. But we will get started with our recipe real quick. And I usually go off a recipe. This isn't even a recipe. It's almost like a non-recipe. So what we're gonna do is the chicken bacon ranch wraps. And since this is summer, and I know I'm in an old house and my air conditioning struggles to keep up, so I'm not gonna turn on the stove. We're just using the little air fryer. So we're not turning on the stove, we're not turning on the oven. And what we're going to do is preheat the air fryer, and then we're going to use, the air fryer comes with 2 mesh racks. Do you guys have an air fryer yet?
I have an air fryer, and mine has a mesh rack too, but I found myself putting foil on the top so it doesn't drip through.
Yeah, I do that on the bottom. I noticed that it's 100 times easier to clean. So
I think I have one, but I never use it. I think we bought it 5 years ago, and I used
really?
it once.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just
makes wonderful baked potatoes.
Oh, baked potatoes? See, that wouldn't be the first thing I would have thought of.
Yes, amazing baked potatoes.
Oh, I'm going to have to throw them in there next time. I kind of tend to just use the microwave and do them in 6 minutes.
You start them out in the microwave for 2 to 4 minutes.
Oh.
And then you throw them in the air fryer after you put itself on the skin, and then you throw them in the air fryer and it crisps up that skin.
Oh, and that's what
And it
does
makes, yeah,
makes
and
the
it makes
magic.
them super, creamy isn't the right word, but like soft inside.
So it even, I could see where it makes it nice and crispy on the outside, but you're saying it even like changes the inside, makes it soft?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's like you're getting a high-end baked potato from
Restaurant.
a 5-star
Yeah.
restaurant. Yeah.
Cool.
My favorite thing is putting bacon in it because it crisps it up. And like I said, I put foil on it because I have mesh. So I put foil on it and then I just keep the bacon grease. But it doesn't make your house smell like bacon for an entire day.
Yeah, because it's all contained in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did go ahead and throw that in there. And this, so Pampered Chef did actually come out with an air fryer about 5 or 6 years ago. And it's great, but they actually got a lot of feedback. They're really good about keeping up with what the latest customer trends are. So they redesigned it. So now it's a dual, it's a toaster oven. Hopefully you can see it okay there. It's a toaster oven on top and it's an air fryer on the bottom. So on the top part, that's like your regular, you can do your toast and there's even like a little bagel setting. But what's really cool is there's a setting, you know how we're famous for the stoneware. There's a setting for stone bake. So it's super smart and it knows how much and how long to preheat your stone. And then it'll tell you when to put the food on top of it. And then you can have your stone bake and it does all the thinking for you. And you can do like your broiling there. And the whole thing is great for reheating, like if you have restaurant leftovers or pizza. And then the bottom is your air fryer, and it's bigger, so that's, you guys are already familiar with it, what an air fryer does, but you can also just use it for an oven, a convection oven, if you need just that extra space. But what's cool about the whole thing is, you know how when you're making a meal, a lot of times you have to cook 2 different methods at 2 different times, and it can be really tricky to keep track of when to make things so they turn out done at the exact same time. So there's a sync finish button that you put your items in the top and bottom. It's totally separate cooking times and methods. And you hit the sync button and it'll get them done at the same time for you. So it's like a smart machine. So I love anything that will take something off my mental plate instead of adding. But, and the other thing I've noticed about it, you know, we're always in a hurry, but especially like if I'm baking cookies, you're really in a hurry to get them done. I couldn't believe how much faster it bakes. So normally cookies take like 12, 13 minutes. It'll take like 7 or 8 minutes in there. So you almost, like when you first start using it, you really have to pay attention. So I've been having so much fun with it. I haven't even had it that long, but it's just been one of those big, huge helpers in the kitchen. So our chicken is baking, and that was just those pre-made little chicken tenders that have the breading on them that I just got out of the freezer section in the grocery store. And then in the meantime, we're gonna do some of our fillings, and this is where you can make it, customize it. And also, I know like Lindsay isn't the biggest chicken fan. I was thinking shrimp would also be really good. So I also have some of the breaded shrimp that are ready to go in the air fryer from Costco, so that would be really good too, or steamed shrimp. So you could kind of keep that in mind to customize. So we're using the flour tortillas. Is anybody gluten-free? If you, okay, good. But even if you are, there's alternatives for almost everything now, so you would just get your gluten-free ones. So we're just gonna take about 4 of the flour tortillas and cheese. Of course, we have to have cheese. So I picked a Colby Jack I thought would be good. And I like to grab a flexible cutting mat because then you can just lift it up when you're done. And I always buy the block of cheese. You guys might have heard this, but there's a lot of reasons to grate your own cheese from a block as opposed to buying it shredded, because my favorite thing is that it melts better. Like when it's on your pizza, it melts because it doesn't have that coating. So that coating is not cheese. So you're eating something that's not cheese when you get the pre-shredded one. But then the other big reason is it's cheaper this way. So much cheaper. And this is just calling for like a half a cup. I'm just kind of eyeballing that. And what I had in mind was my son loves getting these at restaurants, so I want to show him this. I wanted to get him to help me tonight, but I wanted to show him how easy this is to do at home. So we're kind of just doing this in real time. And this is the deluxe cheese grater, and you can do this like over a bowl, or you can push it and do like a stand like that. So I use that guy all the time.
That's one of my favorite products.
Is it? The cheese grater?
Yes.
Very
it
cool.
Is. I've actually used it to julienne and shred up carrots.
Oh, okay.
Things for stir fry too.
That's a good idea. Yeah, obviously you can use it for other things than cheese. And there is safety guard that you can run over it, that you could put like little chunks of like chocolate if you want to do shaved chocolate or different things. So we're just going to take some of this cheese and sprinkle a little bit on the tortillas. And I probably won't remember this, but the intention is when we have a minute and a half left of cooking time, we're going to add it in just to get the cheese melted and the tortillas warmed. Sometimes if I'm doing something Lindsay likes, she'll come and help me because she likes to taste test. So I'm missing my helper.
Maybe next week.
There's another, I don't know if I told you, there's a sweet recipe I'm thinking of doing. It's lemon meringue pies in a jar. So you take lemon curd, graham cracker, and then like a homemade whipped cream mixture and layer it in little mason jars. Wouldn't that be so fun? So we're gonna set these on the second rack and just kind of set them aside. And in about 5 minutes, we'll put them in with the chicken to warm up. And then in the meantime, we'll just throw our other toppings together. So lettuce, romaine I like, and I know Lindsay said she's not so much for chicken, so she would just do all bacon. We'll add a little bacon bits. And then I know when you get them at the restaurant, they always have little diced tomatoes. I love that. And I did just hear the machine beep, and that means to flip the food. So I want to show you guys, we got these oven gloves. So I noticed when you have to flip the tray in the air fryer, it can be a little bit tricky, like with your big bulky oven mitts, because it's like a smaller tray. So you just throw on these oven gloves, and then it's so much easier to manipulate. And I was a little worried, do these gloves really keep you safe? But they do, from the heat.
Are those safe for the oven too, for
Yeah.
the heat? Or
Yeah, they're supposed to be full out. I don't know if there's like a temperature limit, but they're your regular oven mitts.
oh, okay, good.
Yeah. And they're like universal size. So lettuce, and if you get your romaine and your leaves like this, you can just kind of roll it up and then just do your real quick kind of like ribbon slices. So it's the best thing to have one really good knife at least in your kitchen. This guy is kind of my go-to. It's the 5-inch Santoku knife. It has these little divots that keep things from suctioning so bad. And it's just a really good size. And the knives, they come with case so they don't get banged around in your drawer. And these are the lifetime guarantee knives. And you don't realize how nice it is to have one good knife until you've been using the dull one, and then all of a sudden you use a good one. It's like an entire epiphany. So we'll set the lettuce aside, and then we'll do tomato. Now, as far as tomatoes go, I have not found any one secret or tool that will actually dice a tomato for you. You can use the quick slice, which will get it into slices, but you still need to get your dices. So the best bet there is a good tomato knife. So this is a serrated tomato knife, and just a good sharp knife is your best defense for the tomato. So you can zip through it pretty quick, actually. So these are aromas my husband grew in the garden already. They came up already. But I found, like, even if it's the winter out of season, the Roma tomatoes seem like the best bet as far as like being consistently okay even in winter. Okay, and then we'll do some bacon. And you can kind of start thinking ahead also to your different sauces. So it seems like almost everybody loves ranch, but what about like a chipotle ranch or a sriracha ranch? There's so many fun options in the store now. So bacon, I'm just gonna chop that into little dices. Let's see how our chicken strips are doing, because I know this does work so quick. I'm just gonna take a quick peek and see if they're like sizzling. Yeah, those are totally sizzling. I think those are pretty well done. So I'm just gonna give it like one more minute, and then we'll throw in our melty cheese tortillas. What else would you guys add in these? I'm doing lettuce, tomato, bacon.
Avocado. I was going to say avocado.
I can't believe you said that. I was at the store and I'm like, I should grab an avocado just in case. That's so funny. So we'll definitely add our avocado. And that'll make it healthier too. Okay, so I am going to put the tortillas in. It'll hold 2 wraps. With chicken, I always like to lean a little more on a little over brown than a little undone, so I'm just letting it go that extra minute. But what's cool about this oven too is there is a little add minute button. You know how sometimes you just need a little bit more? You can hit that add 1 minute button and it just automatically pops it on there, or you can hit it a few times to add a few minutes. So that's really fun for a little time saver. Okay, so let's do this avocado then. Let's do probably like slices of it. Do you guys have a favorite place you get avocados? I try to usually get them at Costco, but and if you luck out, you can just kind of hit that seed and pop it out like that. And then what I like to do is just slice it while it's in here. And then take just a regular old spoon and then scoop around. So then you have your slices all ready to go. Let's see how I see our cheese melting over there. This is going to be exciting. I am going to grab just a little safe surface right here to set it on. Let's grab those out of there with my oven gloves. I know these will get food on them, so obviously they are washable too. I'm just going to slide these onto our surface. So hopefully you can see they're just the tiniest bit round around the edges, and the cheese is melted. So this will work perfect to wrap our fillings in. So then all we're gonna do from here, if you want, you could, see how hot these are. If you want, you could dice these up a little bit, but you could also just take them like the long whole strips and throw them on. Okay. So then we're just gonna build these. So we're gonna do a little lettuce. A little bacon, or a lot of bacon for Lindsay. Jalapenos would be good, I bet. The fresh ones or the pickled ones. And then avocado. I figured this would happen, it would get too big to fill. Little tomato. And then, of course, our dressing. So I usually get whatever ranch is on sale. Do you guys have a favorite ranch?
I'm a ranch slob,
Yeah.
and it has to be considered like homemade.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
homemade is always the best. Do you?
Yeah.
So when you do it, do you use like the packet, like the Hidden Valley packet, or do you literally do it from homemade, like with the seasonings?
Honestly, I don't ever make it, but well, like when we are out to a restaurant,
You ask
I
if they.
can look at it and be like, okay, that's gonna be a good one, or that's not gonna
Seriously, you're that?
Yeah.
You're like a connoisseur.
be a good one. Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
So here's the inside. So we're going to attempt to roll this up so we can eat it like a little wrap. I was thinking when you see them served at the restaurants, they're usually sliced at a diagonal, but I knew I would get it too full, so we're just gonna leave it like this. But you can tell how the heat does something really magical to the tortillas. Instead of cold out of the refrigerator, they're like warm and soft with a crispy edge. So I probably would even take a little toothpick to this guy. But so that is our wrap, you guys. And if you were here, we would taste test together, but what I always do is send the recipe or exactly what we did so you can just recreate this at home. So that wraps up our recipe. Get it? So that's the end of our recipe, and just before you guys hop off here, I wanted to tell you about a couple of really exciting things going on right now. And I know I kept a couple of you for a couple of feedback questions, so I just have a couple questions for feedback that I'd love to go through together. So the fun things going on right now, this is a little bit different topic, but if you guys are involved in any organizations that do fundraising I'm doing a little screen share here. In August, the company, so Pampered Chef always offers fundraisers. So it's basically products are all the same price, and then instead of a host getting benefits, the organization that you're working with gets a percent of sales. And normally the organization gets 10 to 15%, but in August they're doubling that. So you can get 30% of your sales from a party for your organization. So if you guys are working with any nonprofits or any of your kids groups, that's just something to keep in mind. I wanted to share. So then you guys probably know there is a host opportunity. You guys probably know that there is a host opportunity where you can get some free goodies or discounted goodies. If that's something you'd like to do. In August, what that special is you can pick any item out of the catalog or set at 60% off. So like, say for example, if you fell in love with the air fryer and you just have to have that, you could get it 60% off. And hosting, all you would have to do is invite some friends back here to a Zoom, or we could do like a catalog party, and it just takes $200 in orders to be considered a host, where it would unlock that 60% off. So that's just something to keep in mind if something caught your eye, especially the bigger items where maybe it's a little out of the budget right now, but if you could get it at 60% off. But in the meantime, I do this Zoom every week, and I just love to get together and chat about cooking. I just love the community we're building. So I hope you guys can join us at another one too.
Eric, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you stack a fundraiser also with being a host?
It's
Or
two
do they
different
not
things.
stack?
So well, you know what, Marilyn, that benefit where you get a 60% off item, yes, you could stack that. It's just that you don't get the free product amount if you are,
Right, because the benefit gets stacked.
Exactly.
You could get like a 60% item yourself.
exactly, yes. You would still get that monthly host special, and what that is in August is the 60% off any item or set.
Awesome.
So that's where it gets really cool. If it's a set, you're getting 60% off several items.
Awesome. Thank
Yeah, just something to keep in mind, little food for thought. And then real quick too, we just had our conference and they had all kinds of incredible announcements. They did a promotion where if you know anybody that's looking for a little side gig and considering Pampered Chef, and honestly, like, is there anybody that hasn't thought of leaving their job to work for themselves? But if you just want to dabble with it to just get a feel if it's something you'd like to do, there's a promotion, 25% off a starter kit. So you can get this stoneware bundle starter kit for as little as $37.50. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then the other starter kit is more extensive. It's like $700 worth of products, and you can get it for $150. So that's just something to keep in mind if you know anybody. And then there is always a gift with purchase. If you found some goodies you would like to purchase this one, if you spend $90, you get a $15 gift certificate on your next purchase. And if you spend $120, you get a free mix-and scraper. This is my favorite little spatula. This is the one that gets the bowl so clean that it doesn't even leave you any brownie batter to lick. So that's what's going on right now as far as specials. And as far as the feedback, I just have 5 super quick questions. And if you guys would want to put the answers in the chat, or you know what, we can just, I have this recorded, so I can just write down your answers on a sheet for you. So the first question is, how many are you cooking for in your kitchen? 1 to 2, 3 to 4, more than that?
3.
3, okay. Hannah's 3. Marilyn,
But
are you?
I don't really cook. My husband does.
Oh, okay. So we need him to talk to.
I cook for 2 and 3/4 because I always want leftovers, but I also like to give them to my boyfriend so that he has leftovers to take home.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't know
honest,
how to cook for less than 4 really.
yeah, no, I think it's, if you're going to spend the time doing it, you might as well make enough to share. And these are all totally not right or wrong answer questions. They just help me to know what you might be interested in. And then the next question is, what statements, and it can be more than one, best describe your cooking personality? So, A, I love trying new recipes. B, I just need something on the dinner table for my family ASAP. C, I love baking for relaxation. D, I'm so busy I'm rarely even in my kitchen.
I'm an A. I like new recipes.
Very cool.
Same.
Same for you, Kim? Very cool. And I love that too. I feel like I have to find a new recipe every day, and it's like, well, you don't have to every day. And then the next question, how do you feel about meal planning? I'm on top of it, or I could use some help.
I'm on top of it. I do
Awesome,
it every
Kim.
week.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm on top of it.
That's awesome. You guys, I need to take the tips from you. We could do a workshop. So do you plan like a week at a time? Very cool.
I do, and then I put it on our shared calendar. And then I also have a glass frame that I put it on in the kitchen.
Wow. You say you're not a good cook, but it sounds like you're way on top of it.
I'm on top of it. I'm an okay cook. I just did it for so long, and our son was so picky for so long that I was like, I'm done. I stopped about 3 years ago.
Oh, so you just got kind of burned out trying to...
Yeah.
Yeah, the picky eaters can throw a wrench in things. But that's where I like to have things that you can customize and they can add or take away what they like. And Lindsay's on top of it. Marilyn with meal planning.
It's kind of spur of the moment, and it's like, what do you want for dinner? And it's basically pick a meat, and I'll come up with something and show recipes, and it's, oh, that might be good. Okay, then let's do that.
There you go.
And then I scramble to go get the stuff.
Oh, yeah, sometimes it's okay to do that, and sometimes it would have really helped to know it at the time.
Yeah.
And then on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most, how important is eating healthier to you?
Oh, I'll 5 for me.
Oh, wow, okay.
A 4.
Okay. So we're definitely all conscious of it. Okay, and then on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most, how much do you enjoy entertaining?
That would be a 4 for me, and I don't ever get to do it.
Aw.
So it's a want.
Yeah, but you still love it in your heart.
I love it in my heart.
Aw, okay, cool.
I'd say a 3.
Okay. Kind of sometimes, kind of not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. And then the last question, and like I said, there's no right or wrong answers. Is there any of the products you saw today that you need in your kitchen right now? And you don't have to answer that like right now, but I do love to hear what was your favorite product.
I have 3 of the scraper spoons.
These guys?
Yeah. And
Cool.
I really like those. I have 2 big ones and then I have a little one.
The mini one probably.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, they've been around forever.
Yeah, I love those, and I actually, my mixing scrape, the big one with the scoop on it, is...
Oh, yeah, this guy.
Pampered Chef used to put a circle on the handle, and with a number of what year it was purchased.
Oh, wow, I don't even remember that.
Do they not do that anymore?
I don't
'Cause
think
mine
so.
was so old, it was purchased in 1988.
Oh my gosh.
1998.
Yeah.
And I
that-
still have it, and I still use it.
Oh my gosh, and I thought I have a couple from 2000.
On
But,
the handle, they used to put a stamp, like raised, it was white, but it was raised with the plastic melt like a mold.
Yeah.
They used to put a circle, and then the number inside of it was a two-digit number, and that was the year that they
Year
did it.
end. That's a
Or the
really
year that you bought it, yeah.
fascinating little piece of Pampered Chef info.
Yeah.
Trivia. And then the last question, would you tell your friends about our products? And that could look like inviting some friends back to a Zoom here, or just referrals if you, so since I'm not quite big enough to have a billboard on the highway yet, the biggest gift you could give me is just a referral. So if you would like to give referral list of 10 friends, 10 to 20 names of friends with numbers that might enjoy coming to a Zoom like this, I would send you an extra little gift. And you can just text that to me. Probably text a picture would be easiest. And that is it, you guys. I so appreciate the feedback. Like I said, I'm growing my business, and these questions help me so much with knowing what you might be interested in. And do you guys have any questions about anything?
I do, actually,
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
The toaster oven air fryer combo behind.
Yeah.
Does anything drip through, or are they separated completely? Top and bottom?
So, do you mean like from the two separate, the top toaster oven and the bottom air fryer?
Are they? Yes. Are they
They're
completely separate? One
completely
is strictly a toaster, or one is strictly an air fryer?
Completely separate. Yeah, there's like a
Okay.
firewall in the middle of there.
Okay. And then when it told you to flip the chicken,
Mhm.
did you actually turned the chicken over?
No, and maybe I didn't even look into that. Maybe you should, but all I did was rotated the pan like from this to this.
Okay.
So because the
Yeah, I
fan,
tried to do that. I just wasn't sure if you had to flip it completely.
well,
like,
and I'm looking,
that way.
they look pretty. They're not like overdone on top or bottom, so I think it's okay what we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I usually need to do a little taste test to see what we. It's the sauce that does it. So the ranch is good, but Kim, one of your homemade ranches would be really good in this.